Hi guys, this video is a Father's Day video. So, happy Father's Day to the fathers and grandfathers of everyone's life. And I've laid out a script for this, but we'll just kind of see what happens. First of all, I want to say that the painting, drawing, I'm not sure what you call this. I mean, it's digital art, so it's not like it's a painting or a drawing, but this image that I'm making is based off of a picture that I took of me and my father's hand making a heart shape. And hands are difficult. Any artist will tell you, hands are the hardest human body part to draw. So it doesn't look quite right. It looks a little bit strange, but go easy on me because hands are hands down the most difficult thing to draw or do art of in general. So when it comes to Father's Day, it is a very special time of year, very special day for me and for a lot of people. It's the same for a lot of people. Our father is someone that we love, someone that we care about, somebody that cares for us. And my father in particular is what I'm going to be talking about. My dad is a doctor. He has been for longer than I've been alive. And his desire to help people who are hurting is constant. Whether it's physical pain or just needing somebody to talk to, if you need help, he is always there. And I don't think he's ever turned anyone away when they've asked for his help. He's just a very compassionate person. My dad is also a veteran. He served as a doctor in the Navy, and sailed ships all over the world. Well, sailed. He was a doctor. I don't think he did the sailing, but suffice to say, he's been a little all over the place, and everywhere he's gone, he's done his best to help as many people as he can. And for that, I am very, very proud. Overall, I would describe my dad as an amazing human being. He is an amazing person, a wonderful person. And I think what makes him so wonderful is that he's so compassionate, but he's also so aware of his own flaws. He's not the kind of guy to say that he's right and everyone else is wrong, and it has to be the way that he says. He is very open to the fact that he could be wrong, open to the fact that there are other things and other people who could be right. And it is always his goal to learn and improve, and that kind of drive to make himself a better person every day of his life is very inspiring and an amazing. I watch him go through this cycle of, well, this is what I think, and then he researches it, and then he changes his opinion, and he's not afraid to change his opinion. And that has instilled in me a sense of, it's okay to be wrong, and we should always strive to improve and be better, and, learn to be better people every day. If every day you are a better person than you were the day before, then we will all be amazing, and it's only a matter of time. And that's, I'm very proud of my dad because that is an amazing sentiment that a lot of people don't have. And I was very lucky to be raised in a family where that was the sentiment, that every day we want to be a little bit better than the day before. To tell you some stories about my dad. One of his favorite hobbies is using his hand radio. He has this whole radio setup and a bunch of antennas and all these wires and things, and he can push a little button and he can talk to people. And I don't know much about how it works. And he talks about it all the time. And he really enjoys it. And he can talk to people all over the place. And it's fun to watch because here's this, elder gentleman, doctor, all sophisticated, and he comes running out of the room with a paper in his hand saying, "I got it! I was able to talk to somebody in Japan today!" And he's all excited, and every time he works on his radio, he talks to someone new, or sometimes he'll talk to the same person. They'll meet up again and talk again over the radio. And it's just so fun to watch him have fun. It's amazing. And it's an interesting thing for me to watch because I know that he used to do hand radio when he was younger. And then, he got a life and put it away. And now that he's, the kids are all leaving the house and he's alone again, he's pulled it out and he's having a blast. And it's been really amazing to watch. And it's really cool. Because I can hear it. You'll hear over the radio, you'll hear them, they'll give their call sign, and then they'll tell each other how clear their audio is, and then they'll just talk for a little bit, and then, kind of say goodbye to each other and move on to the next person. And it's just, I don't understand how it works, but it's really cool. And it's just, he's amazing. He's got all these maps in his radio room with pins on them from places that he's talked to people. And he just has a blast. He has an absolute blast with it. And it's nice to see, see him have fun. Another big thing about my dad is his smile. He doesn't smile like a super large amount, but he doesn't not smile either. It's one of those things where when he's happy, he smiles, and when he's not happy, he doesn't smile. But his smile, the big grin that you get when you're really happy, is a amazing smile. Because he's got this big bushy beard. Well, actually he trimmed it back, but it's still a beard. And he's got, it's a big grin, and his eyes, the corners of his eyes wrinkle, and he's got this, he just looks so happy when he smiles. A big, true smile. And it's infectious. You can't look at him smiling and not smile too. And it's just, he's so good at connecting with other people. Which probably he's picked up as being a doctor, you deal with a lot of people. But he never ceases to amaze me. He gets along with pretty much everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, or what you say, or anything. Well, it might matter what you say. But he gets along with most people. And he's never not willing to try. If you disagree, he's still willing to talk to you about it, try and work through differences to get a better understanding of the people around him. And that kind of gets back to his endeavor to learn. He always wants to improve. He always wants to learn more. And he's very open about his own flaws of I might be too stubborn. My opinions might not always be right. But he's very open about also his drive to improve. He might not always get it right, but he's going to keep trying. And it's just amazing. And since he's probably watching this video, I love you, Dad. You're an amazing person. and I really appreciate all you've done for me. Yeah. He's a good guy. He's a lot like his dad, too. Which is kind of, I guess, the perfect segue into grandfathers. You know, they're fathers, too. And he's a father himself. My dad is. My brother has kids. And so he's a grandfather, and he cares very deeply for his grandchildren. Now, my grandfather, I have two, but one of them has passed. My dad's father has passed away. He was a very kind person as well. He was very fun. He was a bit of a jokester, a trickster. He enjoyed having fun. And whenever I would go to visit my grandfather on my dad's side of the family, I remember his house had this big boat, like huge boat, up on cement blocks. And it was kind of run down and breaking. And actually, recently we had to disassemble it because it was going to fall over. But this big boat that sat on cinder blocks in their yard was handmade by my grandfather. And it took him years to make. And it was a big boat. And I've heard stories of them taking it out and using it and sailing around, and it's a big boat. I mean, as a child, running around in their backyard, and there's this big boat, and you hear these stories about how it sails and how they've taken it on trips to different places. It was just awe-inspiring. It made me realize that, like, I could do anything I wanted to, just like my grandfather could. He wanted to build a boat, and then he did. And now there's a boat. And it was very, I don't know, it kind of fueled your imagination to see this big boat. And I remember we would swing on the swing, and he had a swing in his yard. And I would often imagine that I was on the boat, sailing this big boat, and going all different places. And it was always fun, because this boat could take me anywhere. So, my father taught me to keep learning. My grandfather taught me to be imaginative and do whatever I want to do. And my grandfather on the other side of the family is also an amazing person who loves boats. My mom's father, I guess my grandfather on my mom's side, every summer takes us on trips on his boat. It's a much smaller boat. It's not a big handmade boat. It's a little white and orange, like 6-person boat that we always take out on the lakes. And it's a very fun trip because usually we'll put the boat in the water and we'll boat around for a few hours, and we'll go from one lake up a river to another lake, up a river to where we stop to get food. There's like a diner near the water. So we'll dock the boat. I mean, they have like a parking area for boats. So we'll dock the boat, and we'll go get food, and then we'll come back to the boat, and we'll go back down the river, through the lake, back down the river, through the lake. And it's like this whole day trip, and it's super fun. It's amazing. And we do it every year, which may change. My grandfather's selling the boat, but my dad is buying the boat, so maybe it won't change, maybe it will. We'll just kind of have to see how things go this summer. Boat trips were my mother's father's, my grandfather on my mother, my grandfather on my mother's side of the family loved boat trips, and he would always take us on boat trips. He also really liked a dessert called orange sherbet. And it's kind of like ice cream, but not. I really don't know how to describe it. It's orange, because it's orange sherbet, but you can get sherbet in a bunch of different flavors, I guess. But he would always get the orange one, and it was his favorite, and it was my favorite too. So whenever I was sick, since we live in the house right next to my grandparents, whenever I was sick, they would bring me orange sherbet to eat. Which is not, when you're sick, you probably shouldn't eat orange sherbet. But it always made me feel better, so I enjoyed it. And it's just, one of the little fond memories I have. To talk a little bit about the image, since it's done and has just been sitting on the screen while I ramble, you may notice that I have overlaid the words, anyone can be a father, but it takes someone special to be a dad. Now, that's a quote from a baseball player named Wade Boggs, and it is a very true saying. Anyone can be a father, but being a dad is something different. A father, it's biological. He is your father. But a dad is a person who you confide in, a person who makes you feel safe. It takes a lot more to be a dad than just being a father. And it takes even more than that to be a good grandfather. And that's something that I'm very proud of my family for. My dad is a great dad. My grandfathers were great grandfathers. Are great grandfathers. And I know that it's something that I'm lucky in because not everyone has a good dad. Some people just have fathers. And other people might not even have that. So I wanted to acknowledge that because I didn't really talk about that in my Mother's Day video at all, about how, not all mothers are good moms. But I definitely didn't want to leave it unpointed out that some fathers aren't good dads. Because it is a valid thing, and not everyone has a good relationship with their father. But even if you don't have a good relationship with your father, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't still celebrate that they exist. I don't know. It's easy for me to say that because I have a good father, but I also have an amazing dad. Well, this is kind of rambling now, and I've run out of script to try and keep me to not ramble. So I think this is going to be where the video ends, but I want to thank everyone for making it this far if you did, because this has been a trip. It's been a long video, a lot of rambling, and I want to give a thank you to all of the dads, and a thank you to all of the fathers. Your job is important, and I hope you take it seriously. You help shape the future, and we are all very grateful to you when you shape us well. And with that said, have a happy Father's Day.